I have some news which I think is very interesting when it comes to Hedera. And what is that? We take a look at this right here. Not too long ago, it was showcased that on Binance Square, through an article by an individual called the Independent Crypto Researcher, how there is a new chapter with a new CEO and global prospects for the token. Now, what is this? Let's take a look at in further detail. On December 20th, this year, of course, the HBAR Foundation announced a significant change in leadership. Now, what is that? Starting January 1st, 2025, so very close at this point, Charles Atkins will officially take the position of CEO. Now, Charles Atkins, I've never heard about him before, but this is not to be mistaken, by the way, with Charles Oliveira de Brazil, UFC fighter, right? The UFC fighter from Brazil. But, imagine if it was actually Charles Oliveira, that'd be pretty cool, actually. But even besides that, again, we're not talking about Charles Oliveira. We're talking about Charles Atkins here. Previously, he was the president of Hedera Council and held leadership positions in major projects such as Polygon Labs and Aptos. So he's a crypto guy. That's the way I take a look at it, a crypto bro. You know what I mean? He's in the crypto space. He has experience. He knows how to become a leader, at least from what I've seen. So I think this is a good addition, and I think a good move, in my opinion. Now, not to mention, with the arrival of the new leader, the foundation will change its name to the Hedera Foundation. So yeah, that's a pretty cool feature, I guess. Not that it's really super necessary, hashtag Jorge Masvidal, but yeah, besides that point, the strategy will now focus, or should I say the strategy will focus on 3 key areas. First of all, development of AI technologies. Now, this is what I like about Charles Atkins because he's a crypto guy, crypto bro, right? Some people like to say that. He knows that AI is going to be a big narrative. So having this as one of the main focuses, this is a genius move because as we all know, the AI market is predicted to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So that's amazing. The GDP of Canada, keep in mind, back in 2023 was around $2 trillion. So this is a very big figure, and I think that when it comes to, again, Charles Atkins, he knows what he's doing, in my opinion. Not to mention, the second focus will be expansion of tokenization of real and digital assets. And I guess that's pretty cool. Well, whatever. Now the third aspect is strengthening positions in the field of digital identity. Also pretty cool. I guess the coolest thing is the AI aspect. The others are like whatever, but you know what? It's a good addition nonetheless. And there's only so many things we can focus on, right? So when it comes to Charles, he clearly knows what he's doing. Again, he's well experienced and he knows, again, how to move around, if that makes sense. Now, let's take a look at Atkins. He also did note that we are on the verge of a new era for Hedera. Our efforts will be aimed at making this ecosystem not only the most productive, but also the most sought after amongst developers and users. Now, this may seem like a bold claim, but I don't think it's that bold because, in my opinion, it's only logical that not only if, let's say, they didn't try to do this, it would naturally happen anyways when it comes to developers choosing Hedera in the future, because I think that even though layer 1 blockchains, or should I say, quote unquote, traditional blockchain technology, they've worked out well. And I think they're going to work out very well for the foreseeable future. But when it comes to a DAG, a directed acyclic graph, which Hedera Hashgraph is, this could be the next place that developers latch onto because a DAG, it's typically a lot faster, a lot more scalable, has reduced energy consumption, so much so, right? Hedera per transaction on average consumes less energy than Solana, Cardano, and many others. So when I take a look at this is very special. I think it's only fair to assume that this could very well be the next big place that people want to build on. As of right now, adoption when it comes to Hedera, let's face it, is a little bit caca because if you take a look at what is, in my opinion, a project that is mainly sought after when it comes to Hedera, that's something called Saucer Swap. Now, Saucer Swap is allegedly the first ever decentralized exchange to launch on Hedera, but Saucer Swap isn't a big project. You know what I mean? And oftentimes when I ask people, hey, what do you think has better adoption, Solana or Hedera? People often think about Solana. Even though Solana actually doesn't have good adoption, in my opinion, a lot of people often think about this because Hedera just isn't really that popular when compared to other mainstream projects. But I think it's heading up there. And why do I think it's not true when it comes to Solana? In my opinion, at least having good adoption, it's because it's primarily known for having meme coins. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but come on. That's not good adoption in my opinion. When it comes to Hedera, I think its ceiling for adoption is a lot higher than Solana. I think it's a lot higher, quite frankly, than Ethereum because, let's face it, when it comes to a directed acyclic graph, it's just on a whole different level. And it only makes sense that Hedera is leveling up, making moves like this. The reason being is because you take a look at their governing council, over 35 members, having Google, Boeing, LG, Dell Technologies. This is how massive it is. So when people like to say, oh yeah, Hedera is a caca project, I completely disagree with that. I think it's very amazing. And HBAR at the price of $3, I'm still maintaining that as my price target for this bull run. Now, some people may think, oh yeah, it's taking such a long time, all this type of stuff. But keep in mind, as a worst case scenario, altcoins, they've been known to peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April, so 18 months from then would actually be around October of 2025. So there's still some time there when it comes to HBAR to prove itself. And keep in mind, I think that once it reaches the price of $1, the growth could be very exponential beyond that point. Because take a look at Cardano's native token called ADA. It was hovering 1 point around 3 cents. Going to the price of $1 felt very difficult, but going to the price of $2 and $3 didn't seem that hard. Because why? Once it reached $1, that gave confirmation for a lot of people to really believe in Cardano's native token called ADA. But again, I'm not going to wait for that when it comes to HBAR. I've learned from history, so to speak, and that's why I'm focused on HBAR right now. And that's why I was even focused on HBAR back in early 2023. So again, I've been acquiring HBAR for quite a while now, but in my opinion, again, once HBAR, let's say, goes to the price of $1, at that point, $2, $3 may not seem that difficult. And why is $3 still my price target for this bull run? It's because not only is there over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research as we speak, which is more than ever before in history, not to mention as well, Bitcoin is heading in such a good direction. I could very well see Bitcoin exceeding $200,000 during this bull run. I don't see why not. I'm not saying it's going to happen next week or whatever, but let's say sometime in 2025, that really wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think that there are brighter days ahead, and HBAR having a pullback, or should I say a slight pullback, doesn't really matter because it's only natural. It's not going to have a straight shot all the way to $3, in my opinion. It's going to take time. Not to mention, I think that, again, the journey to the top isn't going to be smooth sailing, so I'm not worried whatsoever. Keep in mind, if HBAR were to go to the price of $3, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $115 billion. Still over $440 billion less around that than Ethereum's all-time high market cap. Could you imagine that? I mean, that's kind of insane to think about, to be honest. But the way I view it is that Hedera is something this dynamic. I don't see why HBAR won't, let's say, go to the price of $3. Keep in mind that is around an 11x from here. It's not the best, upside. It's kind of caca, some people may think. But, considering how much HBAR is pumped, doing an additional, let's say, over 10x doesn't seem that bad. And I'm still staying patient. I'm still dollar cost averaging anytime an income, acquiring, holding, and just waiting, because I'm not giving up when it comes to Hedera. I think brighter days are ahead. And again, I think HBAR, it's already shocked the world to a certain extent, but I think better days are ahead. So again, $3 really wouldn't surprise me whatsoever during this bull run. And I'm very bullish on Hedera. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's only the captain. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm a peace. Bye.